Well, I've been stood here for about half an hour, desperately trying to get this image. Oh look, you might just be able to make out bobbing about in the distance is a seal. He's all on his lonesome, bless him. Anyway, distracted again. What I was after was the light on these groins. It's beautiful. What is causing me an issue is the marked difference between the sky and the water, because my God, that is one mucky sea. The second problem is, because the sun is coming in directly behind me, I'm getting the shadow of the tripod and myself in. So it's been half an hour of move left, move right, move up, move down, to try and get something like what I wanted. I'm still going to have to do a minute bit of cloning. Just down in this corner, there's just one leg of the tripod coming into view. But apart from that, this is not the actual composition I was using. Let me just turn that round a little bit. Yeah, that's more like it. And we've got these groins, and in the very far distance, we've also got a wind farm. And they're sort of mirroring the angle that these groins are at. It's not a particularly comfortable composition, but I'm working with what I've got. Excuse the slightly windswept look. It's a tad on the breezy side. This is my second trip out this week. And the second time, all my planning's gone horribly wrong. The first trip out I did, only a 3.5 hour drive. The tide was right, sunset was right. It was hit and miss whether we were going to get any colour, but it wasn't raining, and we had some clouds, some beautiful cloud detail, absolutely gorgeous. And I pulled up, full of the joys of spring, to find out where I wanted to go. There'd been barriers put up to say you couldn't go down there. So I was not a happy chappy. I got a couple of images, not what I wanted, but they were going to do. There was no way I was coming home without an image. And then I thought, beautiful sunset evening, we're going to get that gorgeous pastel band in the sky. We've got sunset and high tide, perfect. I'll head up to Spurn Point, because I've got unfinished business here. The last time I came here was with Izzy. I think it was beginning of this year. Beginning of this year or the end of last year, one of the two. And it was a bit murky. I thought, oh, nice warm evening. It's been 28 degrees all flipping day. I hope you've been toasting yourself nicely. SPF 50, obviously. What's thrown me once I've got here is the colour of that sea. It's foul. It's fouler than a foul thing. And having been at, where was I? Camas Beach, where the sea was that glorious turquoise colour, on an evening not dissimilar to this, I thought I'd get the same here. Apparently not. I'm not too disheartened. I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get some images. I may blend the horizon line very slightly. Depends what it looks like when I get it on screen. The image that I just showed you, I've been using the 10 stop because I wanted milky water. I've got a polarizer on to try and lift the colour in the water. It wasn't really working. And I put a reverse grad in because if you notice, we've got very dark sea, then we've got a slightly lighter band, and then the sky goes dark blue again. So I figured that the reverse grad, as it starts its filtration, is the darkest part and it goes dark to light, where a normal filter goes light to dark. Let me show you. Oh yes, not sure if you're going to make this out, but you can see it starts darker and then a medium and then a light graduation. And I thought that would probably work better than a standard grad which goes dark to light. I think it's done its job. It's like they're not going to be Startling images. I'm just glad it's not raining. I mean, it's windier than I expected. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to show you this one, but we'll have a go. Hold on, here we go. These were the other little groins, and I'm down really low with the tripod. I've got my sand feet on, but I've dug the sand feet in a bit as well. Because this beach is very pebbly, when the waves come in, excuse me, they tend to drag the pebbles with them, and that can knock the tripod. So I've dug it in a little bit in the hope that that will keep it as solid as possible. I've still got the reverse grad, I've still got the 10 stop, and I've still got the polarizer on. We're now beginning to get a little bit of a pastely haze, which is complementing the colour of the water slightly better than it was earlier. The sun has thankfully dipped down behind the embankment here, and that means I'm not having to worry about any shadows. Ooh. I'm shooting with the 11-16. Oh, I just got splattered then. And I'm thinking that took a shot. Yeah, 40.9 seconds. Yes, that's more like it. Yeah, happy with that one. As I say, the light is softening all the time. I'm sorry about any wind noise, but the wind is now coming directly towards me. It's supposed to be a southeasterly. It's more like easterly at the moment. But you can see on the horizon, we've got like a mucky brown water, then there's a dark band where that ship is, and then we've got the sky, and it's using that reverse grad has just minimised the difference. There's still a very blatant horizon there, but it's not quite as horrible as it was down there. I could spend hours here. Right, I'm just going to fire one more off, and then I'm going to pack up and head back down that way to see what I can get. There's some other groins the other side of where I was, so I'm going to try those. Now the name of the game is to take some images that I haven't taken before from this location. I succeeded down there, and I think I succeeded with my first image here. And as I've walked back down the beach, I thought, oh, there's something here. This set of groins, which was the ones I was at first off, have a slight curve. It is very slight. When I was here in summer, the water came up here. Don't think it's going to get that high, so I was trying to figure out how I could show a bit of that curve. I'm having to go portrait orientation. I'm slap bang behind the first groin, which has got a bit of a kink, and then you can just see the curve as they go out into the ocean. Luckily, the waves are coming up around this first one. Yes, that's more like it. We're going into very much blue hour now. That nice band of pastel that I thought we were going to get is slowly disappearing. But, yes, you're in danger of getting swept away. Yeah, that's more like what I had in mind. We've got enough water around here. The thing I don't like about this beach is it's pebbly. And I'm very much a smooth sand kind of girl. I don't like seeing lots of pebbles. So I've been waiting for the water to come up around here to get rid of the majority of the pebbles. I'll possibly still end up cloning a few out. And we're about there. It's just gone 5 to 9, so we're still half an hour off high tide, but I don't see any way it's going to get up here. So just to get them around here, that's fabulous. I focused on the first groin. I'm at f9, and I'm sure my camera's going to take a photo in a minute. That's better. I'm at f9. I've still got all my filters on. And it's just showing through a few of these pebbles, but not too many. The sun has dipped down below the embankment here. It's not dipped down behind the horizon, but it's below the embankment, so I'm not getting any shadows, which is great. And I think we're at about 70 seconds, 80 seconds, something in that region. And as usual, I have got my Kelvins at 10,000 because I have got the Lee 10 stop on. Somebody commented and said, why'd you bother? Because it doesn't make any difference, you're shooting in RAW. Possibly. However, when I put those images onto my PC, what I get on the PC is what I'm seeing on the back of the camera. And at 10,000 Kelvins, that's neutral for a Lee 10 stop filter. And that's what I want to see. I want to see what it's going to look like when I process it. I could set it to auto and that would do all sorts of weird and wonderful things to it. I could set it to daylight and adjust it in post. But why adjust in post when I can do it here? That's just me, not everyone's the same. Right, let's have a look, see. Oh, 84 seconds, that's more like it. And I've just got a little bit of dragging motion around here. All the groins are below the horizon, which was what I wanted. And I'm just seeing a little bit of that curve. Sorted we are. And because I feel like it, I'm going to do one more. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to teach anybody to do anything. I'm telling you what I do, and it works for me. If you want to try it, fabulous. If it works, even better. If it doesn't, that's fine. You'll find your own way round. But for me, 10,000 Kelvins with the Lee 10 stop, job sorted. I think some of the 10 stops, maybe the Nissi and the case, maybe those have a fairly neutral 10 stop and you don't need to adjust the white balance. That's fab. I've got Lee. Right, I had a vision in my head as I walked down the beach. I'd seen these uprights walking up and I thought, oh, bit minimal. It presents some difficulties. Sorry, the wind is coming directly onto me, which is causing one problem because it's hitting the camera, which is giving a little bit of shake. So you just have to keep everything crossed that I can get a sharp image here. I've picked on the 3 uprights that have got 2 smaller uprights behind them, and I've wiggled and jiggled the tripod because they're not in line, and I wanted to make sure as much as I could that I've got equal amounts of space between the smaller uprights and the big uprights, because each of them lets a little bit of light in at the sides. They don't meet, there's just a little gap. So I've tried to align it to make it even and level, because it'll do my OCD the world of no good if it's not level. I've left exactly the same filters on. I've done a couple without the polarizer. Polarizer isn't having too much of an effect, although I'm just trying to lighten the water. For about 10 minutes, we actually got some semi-decent light on the water, so we got rid of that horrible mucky brown. We're almost at sunset. That pastoral band isn't happening, and it's not happening over there either, but hey, it's not raining. Result. Right, now the image I did without the polarizer was 77 seconds, I think it was. I'm at f9. I bumped the ISO up to 200. That's more like it, because otherwise we'll be here till Christmas. That's 115.5 seconds. Yeah, and that's sharp as well. I'm going to just bump the ISO a little bit more. I just want it slightly lighter. But the polarizer has slightly evened out the horrible colour on that water. Now, just down there, there's some more groins in the water, but I think they're too far out for me to actually get an image. I'm going to have a go, because the tide is coming quite way up, and I have just realised I should have checked the access times, because that there is the entrance to Spurn and it floods. I think we're all right. We're gonna find out, otherwise I'll be wild camping out here tonight. Right, anyway, that's it. Hope you like the images. Thanks for coming along. Hope you have a great week, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye for now.